Ready?
What's good, y'all? It's your girl Alexis with Recap Sports Focus, and we got Big Boss in the house.
Yes, yes. It's recap, sports focus, no cap, and we in the building. It's
Period.
Coach. Yes, your boy, Coach Big Boss. Well, we got a lot to talk about tonight, there, Alexis.
Yes, we do. We are going to recap what happened on Sunday night football and even Sunday morning football. It happened at 8:30 in the morning, all the way up in Germany with the Chiefs versus the Dolphins. Now,
Ooh,
we talked about this last week, trying to see who was gonna take home the win. I
right.
said the Chiefs. Y'all said who?
Yeah, we
Hmm.
thought it would be the other way around, but yeah, the Chiefs prevailed. Uh, uh, uh. Great game though.
They did. Their total yards, 267 yards, and they still managed to come out on top while Miami was at 292 yards.
Yeah, and it wasn't. It was really a good game, except for right at halftime, just before halftime, the Miami Dolphins began to unravel. Turnover, penalty, turnover, penalty. And, again, I'm still wondering what is some of the plays being called. That old quick screen out in the flats. I'm not a big fan of it because, when the game is crucial, the game is tight,
Mm-hmm.
that's the easy pick six, or it's
Yeah.
like throwing a pass out in the flats. I just really don't like it. In this case, the Dolphins fumbled the ball, they recovered, touchdown just before the half. And then, what's bad is because Kansas City gets the ball back in the second half, just bad timing.
And it just changed the whole game. But I mean, the Chiefs, they do got to tighten it up in terms of penalties, though, because 9 penalties for 69 yards.
Yeah, and you can't play against the referees, but
That was a
I just
ref's
thought,
game through
yeah, it
and
was a
through.
rough physical game, so a lot of pushing, pulling,
Mm-hmm.
grabbing, so maybe the refs had to throw some flags to keep it calm. But I just thought that the Chiefs prevailed because they're disciplined. They don't do too many turnovers.
But this,
Maybe a few penalties.
yeah, but this was the first time I really seen Mahomes under pressure.
Yeah,
Like like seeing that frustration come out of him and Andy Reid having to be like, hey, just relax, calm
right.
down. You know what I mean? Stay focused. So I'm just like, what's changed now? Like, what do you think?
Well, he's used to scoring at will.
Mm,
And when you're a competitor, you want to make plays.
yeah.
They went to a few three and outs. He's not used to that. He's used to marching down the field and scoring. Got to
Yeah.
shout out to the Miami Dolphins defense. They came to play.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the offense let them down, but the defense they did pretty good. The
Yeah.
pass rush was strong. They put pressure on Mahomes. Quite naturally. A couple of drop balls by the receivers. He wasn't too happy with that.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I think overall, like the running game was great in the first half for the Chiefs. They made a huge play when the ball was fumbled, and then they ended up scoring a touchdown when they started playing hot potato and tossing the ball. So I thought that, I thought that was great. But I will give a shout out to the Dolphins for Wilson, who made some key plays and scored a nice touchdown as well. But overall, the Chiefs came out on top. But that's how you know they are champions because
Exactly, I
they
agree.
could look horrible. I mean, we've seen instances like that with like even Tom Brady. They could be doing horrible, don't have much yards that they produced, but they
They
still
find a
managed
way.
a way to win.
Yes, they find a way to win the game, and that's
Mhm.
what just what champions do. You see that in the Warriors. You just see the champions just find a way to win because they're battle tested.
Exactly.
And Tua, I don't know what he was looking at. He started throwing the ball away. He didn't really have a great day. Something ironic too. his little brother at the University of Maryland had a horrible day too. He
It was just
stunk.
what was it? It was just one of them days.
It was one of them Tagalog days where some they ate. I don't know what it was. They both played the
Yeah.
same. They both threw
But
picks.
the moment Miami lost, it was when Tua dropped the snap with 1 minute left in the fourth quarter, and then I was like, all right,
That ended it.
that ended it. That was it for it right there. But
Yeah.
speaking of champions, somebody that I think people that's on people's radar is Lamar Jackson with the Ravens, though.
Ooh. I watched that. I watched that
37 to
game.
3.
Yeah, I watched that game to its entirety. I tell you what, boy, Lamar Jackson, they beat up on the Seattle Seahawks. And I'm
My
telling you,
gosh.
I was shocked. I mean, I
They could
thought
have
that you would see a
scored.
little bit more from the quarterback. I thought you would see more from the receiver. They got one of the biggest, strongest receivers next to the kid up there at Philadelphia.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, next to him, they both same type of big, strong. I thought you were going to see a little bit more. Man, they beat up on. What happened up there in Seahawks? What happened to the 13th player? What happened? You guys went down to Baltimore and got smashed.
I just feel like it's this debate going on with Steve Carroll about Pete Carroll. What's his name?
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Coach
About
Pete Carroll.
just about is he still legit after getting rid of Russell Wilson? So it's like, to me, this is like that time where it's like, I don't think the Seahawks are as good as they like to make people believe they are.
Well, I agree with you. A lot
And
of
this
the
is primary
defenders, the
example.
older players, you got the good old boy defense where a lot of the players who had left during free agency went somewhere and then they came back.
Mm-hmm.
So like the middle linebacker and the rest of those guys who came back, they got about three players who had left and went on the journey and came back home. And right now they're just a step slower. Of course, I'm in agreement with you. No way I give up Russell Wilson when he's been holding it. I mean, why? There was no reason to get rid of him. You don't have no
You
up and
just have,
coming quarterback there. It
yeah,
ain't
you
like
just
you
got to
drafted in the
change
first
the
or
pieces
second.
around him. But
Yeah,
he was in
yeah.
a good spot. Like the
No
Broncos
reason.
didn't make sense for Russell Wilson. It just never did. Like the Seahawks was his team. And I feel like if they had the opportunity to get him back, I would take him back.
Right. I mean, you should have made a mid-season trade for him.
Hmm.
But I don't think the Broncos gonna let him go
If the
because they don't have
Broncos
a
would
backup.
have let him though, because I don't know if the Broncos would
Yeah,
have been so quick to get rid of him either.
exactly. They don't have a backup.
Mm.
And right now their season is sinking. Fact is pretty much all but gone. So they're gonna hold on to what they got. You
Right.
know. So it just wow. But
The Seahawks defense was horrible with the running game, but I gotta give a shout out to Jackson though. You know, he's that out of pocket quarterback. He gonna give you them first downs when you need them.
yeah, you shout out to the new running back they have, the rookie.
Mm-hmm.
I believe his name is Gibson. I don't even know the kid's name, but I know he ran for 150 yards. He ran all over the place. I mean, he only had like 12 carries. you know,
Amazing.
yeah, he was hitting the holes hard. I was like, who is this kid?
Yeah, don't
You know,
sleep. I feel like don't sleep on him.
oh no, Baltimore is making a run right now.
Because it's like they got me side eyeing because I know I've been saying that they can become inconsistent at times, but I think they might have something right now.
the quarterback sure looked polished these last couple of games. I was just watching how he was just, setting some of his, passers up, looking away the safeties off while he was hitting. And crisp, sharp timing with his passes, going through his progressions, moving his feet. Of course, he's a slash quarterback slash running back, and he
Pretty
runs
much.
with fervor. Yeah, he runs with fervor. He's looking to run people over, man. Baltimore, great job. You manhandled the Seahawks. Hey man, I was really impressed. Great K.
Yeah, and I think the Seahawks, again, we talk about issues with linemen, but I just don't feel like they protected their quarterback in that game, and it showed.
Well, the
Couldn't
D
couldn't
line
even
for
score.
Baltimore had something to do with that. I mean,
Absolutely. But
yeah,
still,
they could have. They're both. I mean, I just see right now in the NFL, we're having a tackle problem where these tackles can't stop these defensive ends.
no.
We got to
So then that
if
means you need bigger men. Like you have to restructure. This is what I mean. You have to restructure. We
well,
already know that, like,
I
just
just
like they had to restructure for how the running backs are changing now.
right. Well, exactly. I think that they got to quit paying these tackles so much money and let them earn their money because they're getting whooped. I mean, on almost every team.
Yes.
You maybe got three good tackles in the NFL right now. The rest of
Mm-hmm.
these guys are just getting beat. Quarterbacks are getting pressured and getting. I mean, but then you got to give shout out to the defenses. These guys are specializing
That
in
means they're
rushing.
getting better
They're
because
getting better. They're
I seen
specialized.
so many sacks on Sunday
Yes, it's
Night Football. I was
unbelievable.
like, whoa,
Yeah, and
okay.
I wouldn't want to be a quarterback in the NFL right now.
Mm-mm. They
These
come
guys are
because they're
coming.
coming for you. They're hungry.
They coming for your head. Man, get out. You know.
Yeah. So speaking of hungry, in the NFC East,
Uh oh. Uh
Philly
oh.
versus Dallas,
Yes, yes. I know.
28-3.
I know, Lexi. Was that the final score?
It was 28-23.
Oh, 28-20. I thought you
My
said
bad.
28-23. Yeah.
28-23.
Not a bad game. Dallas
They were
Cowboys
this close. And I'm like,
fans, listen to me. Dallas Cowboy fans, you played a great game. Do not hold your head down. You played a good game.
we're
You
gonna get
know,
our lick back though.
huh?
We're gonna get our lick back though.
Oh, you want that lick back?
I want that lick back when you come
You
to
want,
our field. I want my lick
okay,
back.
they got to come to the Cowboys Stadium.
Yeah, you don't have to
Uh-oh.
come on down to Arlington. One good time.
Well, you
And
heard that, Eagle fans. You got to come down to Big Texas. You got to
yeah,
come see Jerry Jones and Mika Parsons, those down there in Arlington, Texas. Uh-oh.
and handle the sunshine that come through the dome.
We sure
And
look forward to that game.
do. And I can't put the blame on Dak for this game.
No, Dak played great.
He played a great game. And
Dak played great.
I think people should have expected that because I think Dallas was already watching the way Washington was scoring on Philly. So they was like, oh, if they can do that, we for sure gonna get this about the same total yards. We could definitely do that. Which, I mean, you should expect that from Dallas, but it's just like our receivers.
Well, I think
Where
Dak
was
found
Pollard?
something.
CD was great, but where was Pollard?
Well, probably they didn't call his number that much. I mean, I think Dak has found something in CD Lamb. And
Yes,
so that causes him to be just a little bit more calmer in that pocket. I know he went to your tight end a couple of times and he dropped the ball. See, quarterbacks lose confidence in you if you're not going to make him look good. If you're not going to catch the ball, tight ends, listen to me, catch the football. You're too big to be worried about getting hit. Catch the football first.
public service
That's
announcement. Please let them know.
yeah, Dak's under pressure. There's not
Yeah.
only is he under pressure on the field, but the whole NFL is talking about Dak Prescott, and they're giving him a rough time, but he's actually really a good quarterback. Of course, he got some parts to work on, but he's proved these last two games that hey, I can play at the All Pro level, and we just really need you guys to help him out. You can't be dropping his balls.
No,
Gallup dropped another
not when
good one.
it's crucial. No.
Yeah, Gallup dropped a couple crucial ones, but he made up for it. He made up for it. He made up on a couple first downs. He made up for it. I give shout out to Gallup. You redeemed yourself. But
He
I
does,
think
but that's Gallup-esque. That's what
yeah.
you're gonna get out of Gallup. You're gonna get half the time Gallup ain't catching nothing. And then like when we really don't need it and we could have used it earlier, then he wants to start catching the ball.
Well, that's everybody has an MO that plays in the game. That's what the difference of making you a boy or making you a subpar okay player.
He's okay to me. He's not
Yeah,
somebody I'm like, oh, look out for Gallup. I'm sorry, he's not. He makes nice explosive plays here and there, but Gallup is not someone I'm looking out for on
well,
Dallas's
he's got
offense.
speed. He's got speed. He can run great routes, but he drops the ball sometimes right when they need him. And you know what
Mhm.
that says? Lack of concentration. You know, yeah,
So
lack of
then
concentration.
who do you think that rubbed off on? But now they starting to get their stuff together.
Well,
CD.
I think that CD is just the kind he need early touches, and Zach,
Mhm.
Dak's going to him right now. But
Yeah.
something I want to point out about the Cowboys: every game in the first quarter, it's like they need to get warmed up. Dak's always under pressure where he gets sacked 3 or 4 times in the first quarter.
You know his ankle a little rusty. He gotta put a little oil on it.
I see
Gotta
that. I
slide some
see that the
oil like the
last
Tin
three
Man.
games. Then all of a sudden, somebody gets some fire put up underneath him. They begin to start blocking, and then he gets into a rhythm.
Yeah, he
Uh,
does. But
yeah,
let's McCarthy, he on the hot seat too because your time management, sir.
right. And you just got to stop coming out passing right away. We see a lot of that. I just think if you establish that running game early, that pass would be there. Now they did get some sort of running game going in late in the first quarter and the third quarter. You got to keep that running game going. Don't abandon the run. Keep that
Agree.
run going because you got a quarterback who can make plays. It's all about making those plays. So I just
Agree.
say, okay, of course, yeah, Philly, you won, and you played a great game. With Jalen Hurts, you're pretty tough. That
But
pass
really,
run.
without the score, I feel like Dallas won that game.
Well, you lost by inches because, truthfully, you're right. They had like 2 touchdowns called back by inches.
And
Dak
that made
stepped
me
out of
so
bounds.
mad. I was like, that would have been it.
That was game over by
And then
inches.
Dak,
Yeah. So, but come
poor
on, tight end.
Dakota, even though he was trying to get that 2 point conversion. I see him try.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did. I did.
I think he should have
He
took
gonna
the
practice
hit.
that though. I bet you gonna see them try to do it again and Dak gonna try
Well,
to run it in.
next time, Dak, take the hit. Go through the man. Don't run away from him.
Yeah,
Take the hit.
you gotta be twinkle toes, man. You gotta have them feet in bounds.
Yeah, go ahead. Take the hit and get in bounds, man. But he showed he had heart today. He tried to dive over play and got somersaulted. I said, Dak come to play today. I was proud of you, Dak. I
Yeah.
really was. Tight end, you got to make sure that you ran the route right. I kind of want to say it's not your fault because Gallup didn't come over the top enough to give you enough room to go underneath. But
Hmm.
you got to make sure you're trying to score a touchdown. You don't want to be at the
Yeah.
1 inch line. You got to be across the line of end zone. Okay, so I hope you learn. I
Yeah.
know you don't feel good right now. Keep your head up. Again, it was a matter of inches.
But we
Unfortunately,
can't
one.
we can't give we can't cut any slack for our defense though, because
Nah, he
even
gave up a lot of
after
red.
Jalen Hurts injured his knee a little bit more, they killed us on the running game.
Yeah, you gotta shout out to that little running back. I like to see how he plays next game, but he played a hell of a game. Like
Yeah.
I say, a lot of missed tackles. I don't know where's your middle linebacker. Is he hurt? I
I
didn't see
think
him.
I didn't see him either.
I didn't see him. He must be having that neck injury that he has stayed
You
against the
talking about
team.
Van Der Esch?
Yeah, Van Der Esch. I didn't
He's
see him.
out with a neck injury.
He got that neck injury he suffered during the 49er
But
game.
he has that injury almost every year.
Right. He had it last year. I remember that.
And the year
You know,
before that, like that's why you see that
well,
brace
it's reoccurring.
with
This
support
goes to
for
show
him.
you.
But
This
he's a
goes to show
tough
you.
player though.
Yes, he is. This goes to show you that your body takes a lot of pain and injuries take a toll on your body after so many years.
Yeah.
He's a great tackler. That's what I like about it. Those neck
Yeah.
injuries, they're hard to heal.
A neck injury, that's not that gets people out of their careers
Mm-mm.
a lot of times, and that's across multiple sports.
Well, you see what's happening with Daniel Jones up at the Giants is that neck injury is nagging him, keeping him out 2-3 games.
And that's nothing to play with. So
Yeah.
I hope they got a plan further down the line of what they're gonna do about that.
I
Because
want to give a shout out to the young man, finally, Javion. Can't think of his last name right now. Plays for Cal Berkeley. He's a running back. Came out of McClymonds High School right here in Oakland, California. Young man got injured in the game last week. I think they said he broke his neck. So we just want to send, our prayers to him and the family. Hopefully, it's something that he can recover soon and get back to playing the game that he so loved to play. You know, you hate to see that for young players who are just trying to get a start. You know, he's been giving it his all. He made it to Cal Berkeley out of McClymonds High School. I mean, that's pretty big. Not to put McClymonds High School down, but we just know that, it's hard for our young kids to get recognized out of the Oakland public school system. And so big up to Coach Poole and the Mac House down there, been champions for the last 8 or 9 years, right? And so he's getting kids in these D1 colleges. And, it's just unfortunate that he had the injury, but we pray a speedy recovery for you, young man.
So speaking of the West Coast, let's talk about the Raiders versus the Giants.
Oh, Raiders. The Raiders. Well,
They shocked me. Well, no, I can't say they shocked
yeah,
me.
they beat up on
But
a lame horse.
it's without Jimmy G. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah, exactly.
it's a restart. So it did kind of shock me, like to see them like, okay, y'all scoring pretty big. Although I can't give them too much credit, because I mean it is the Giants, but I definitely have my radar on them to be like, okay, let me see how they do the next game.
Right. Well, I agree with you. I mean, yeah, they beat up on a lame horse, but you're supposed to beat them that way if they're a team that that is not really clicking on all cylinders. Then you got to treat them like such. If they had a barely won that game, that would have showed me that the Raiders are in trouble. Amen. But
Per usual.
but for the backup quarterback to come in with a new coach, right?
Yeah.
New offensive coordinator, they didn't look bad. In fact, they just seemed like the team was excited. They all wanted to play. This all happened within 1 week.
They
Got to get
probably
a
just
Raiders.
needed some new energy up in there.
Well, no doubt about it. See you later, Josh McDaniels. Maybe you can go back and get a job with Coach Belichick up there in New England because,
He need help too.
yeah, he need help. Going back home, maybe you can take Garoppolo with you. But I'm just saying.
I don't think Garoppolo got too many more road trips.
Well, he can go. I bet you he can go up there. But that young kid that plays for Belichick is not doing bad. He just need receivers. The defense is pretty good, but he just need receivers and running back. But yeah, I just think that the Raiders are more excited going in a new direction. I haven't seen a mutiny like that in a long time, where your star running back and your star receiver tells the owner. They went to Mark Davis and said, "We don't like this dude. Either you get him out of here or we ain't playing." That's how it went, Alexa. They said, "Man, get this dude right here is ridiculous. He's rude. He doesn't own up to nothing." And so the story goes that when he was in the locker room, the whole team was going off on him. And so he had somebody speak in his favor, right? And that person that he had speaking for his favor is now the interim head coach. He had Pierce speaking for him, and Pierce decided to tell the team that they can play and believe in themselves, and that every time they go on the field, regardless if they're outnumbered, regardless if they're the underdog, they should always believe they can win. And he told him about a time when he played for the New York Giants.
Isn't that something? How it came full circle?
Right, and they played against New England, and this is what he said. And when they was the underdogs, and everybody thought New England was a great team, and they
Mhm.
beat New England in the Super Bowl. Well, Josh McDaniels didn't like that, and so he said, "Man, don't you ever mention the Patriots again." And then that's all she wrote. That's when he lost his players and all of that, and
So
you
you got
know,
butt hurt of him using an example,
yeah,
but your
yeah.
feelings are still hurt.
Well, it made him look like a double loser, And so, the bottom line was you should have spoke for yourself.
Hmm.
You never know what somebody's going to
If you didn't like the message, stop sending the messenger.
say. There you go. And so it backfired on him. And needless to say, he's out of job. And good for you, Raider Nation. I know you needed a victory. And
Yeah, and it was really impressive in terms of like their yards per pass were double what the Giants were giving too.
right. And I just want to say to the Raiders, call your boy Darren Waller back home. Go get your tight end, man. Why you guys let that guy leave? See, some of you NFL teams, you're making big mistakes letting your bread and butter go. You should have never
Yeah.
let Khalil Mack go.
Sometimes,
Sometimes,
sometimes they don't want no butter because they want a little jelly. What's wrong with
yeah, that
that?
doesn't make no sense. Like you said, there's too many egos. These
It
players,
is.
yeah, come and keep a player for the right reason. Now, in Khalil Mack's place, he didn't want to play for the coach, so I get it. You know, John Groove said, "Well, you can get up out of here." Then. Now I get it. If you don't want to play, then you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, Darren Waller, he loved being a Raider. He was like their second leading receiver. Should have kept Darren Waller. He's big, fast, great catching, great route running tight end. Could be a slot receiver. He could
Yeah.
very well be. He's a great blocker. Should have kept him. Call him back down here. Might help your season out.
Yeah, and with the Giants, they got a lot of work to do because I mean, with those two turnovers, those are some crucial L's to take, and then they were a little too late in terms of scoring, like the fourth quarter.
I would like to say a shout out to Stephen A. Smith. I don't know what's going on with your Giants, man. I mean, it took you 10 years to get the Knicks to play a little bit better. And now the Giants
Look,
need
at
some help.
this point, I think he's becoming a Cowboys fan because I see him show up to Cowboys games more than I've ever seen him show up to a Giants game.
Well, he's a Cowboy hater.
He's a fan. Don't let
I
Stephen
hear
A.
what you're
fool you.
saying.
Stephen A. likes the Cowboys. Stephen A. don't like the Cowboys fans.
Okay.
But Stephen A. is a
Well,
fan.
he's got to root for his hometown because they need his help. And I don't
That
understand
they
what's
do.
going on with the New York Giants. It's like you're not even trying to play football. I mean, I'm curious of what is the Giants? What is their identity? What are you guys doing? You got a good.
It's the same thing as the Raiders. It's just like they're a couple steps behind. They didn't have their identity until they had to fire everybody and had to bench their starting quarterback. Like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably gonna have to have a clean slate too. Because Daniel Jones, why would you invest in Daniel Jones any further? Well, could just get a rookie
I
quarterback.
agree.
I know everybody says, "Oh, don't always get a rookie," but we ain't got no options for veterans right now. So I
No,
feel
you
like
really
for the
don't.
Giants, focus on the draft
Yeah.
on the
Well,
offensive side, please.
Daniel Jones to me right now is playing at a
Trash.
backup level at best.
He's
He's
trash.
playing a shout out to Josh Johnson out of Oakland Tech High School. Went down, played for John Harbaugh at University of San Diego. Been in the league about 16 years. He's been a journeyman, played on a lot of teams, but he's found his way down to Baltimore, backing up Jackson over there. But I just think that maybe he can do good right now up at New York. He can't do no worse. Give Josh another shot at it. He's pretty much at the end of his career. Give Johnson a shot at quarterbacking up there. If I was you, I'd trade for him right now. Well, the trade deadline is over, but yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
know what the Giants are gonna do.
but
Hand the ball
they've
30
been
times
trying.
a game.
The Giants been trying the old, and the old ain't working.
Yeah, maybe they should throw the ball out. Who they got bagging up? Who they got bagging up? Daniel Jones. Sounds like a hunter, Daniel Jones, the mountain man. Yeah, well, good game, Raiders. You earned it.
It was, but the game, even though I know they said Dallas and the Eagles was the game of the night, I can't overlook the Bills versus the Bengals. The
Good
final
game.
game of the night.
Good.
24-18 Bengals win. It was a tough fight through and through.
Yeah.
And I have to give it to Cincinnati for that. They were
Yeah.
getting the ball out quickly, which I think worked in their favor. I mean, that's always going to work in your favor. And then they're becoming a threat to look out for in the AFC.
Yes, they are.
So
And,
I think they're putting everybody on notice. And I think people are, I'm not going to say they're shaking in their boots just yet, but they're paying attention.
well, watch out, AFC. Don't there. The Bengals don't get much publicity, but I know you
They
guys on the
will
East
now.
Coast. You guys on the East Coast don't hear about Cincinnati too much. But what does Cincinnati have that the NFL has seemed to go away from? A balanced game. They got
Yes.
some good, strong running backs. Shout out to Mixon again, running that ball with fervor, with excitement. He's decided that this is going to be his year. I can just tell every time he gets that ball, he explodes out of that backfield. And it looks like that Burrow is healed.
But
Burrow is
that's when it's Joe Burrow is great when he's healthy and you can notice the difference in the offense. So it's
well,
like
that's any player when they get healthy.
keep him
You
that way because your offense looking a little different right now.
Yes, it is.
Where
Tyler
it's putting
Higbee
people on
stepped this
notice.
game up.
So
Yeah, Tyler Higbee to step this game up. Boyd on the other end to
mhm.
step this game up. All the receivers are getting great yards. I'm just really, never really been a Bengals fan, but I'm excited about what I'm seeing up there. I think organization overall, and even their defense, and they playing solid, good football. They got a good secondary, good
Yeah.
tackling linebackers, and a strong pass rush. They averaging at least 2 to 3 sacks a game. I mean, hey, this team right here, I watch out, Kansas City. But now
Mhm.
on the other hand, Buffalo, I think my man, he's got to slow down a little bit. He throws 40 sometimes a game. It just seems like they're throwing the ball 60% of the time and running less.
But that
You know.
was and that was Dallas's problem a couple seasons ago too. And you see that didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
You have to balance it.
What what's the name of the quarterback up there? Bill Mafia. Can't think of his.
Josh Allen.
Yeah, Big Josh, man. You ain't got to throw 40 yards every play. Get the first down.
Exactly.
Hit you. You got some good running backs. Get the first down. Get the first
And this
down.
goes back to us always saying everything doesn't have to be a super flashy play. Just
Yeah,
keep it simple. Like that's why you see the Lamar Jacksons and stuff doing what they're doing. They'll toss the ball. Go ahead. Give me
yeah.
that
Let
first
the let,
down.
let the player, get open today. Let him go do what he does. That's called the West Coast offense. You rather off get the ball 6 to 7 yards and let him make an open field play. Well, one on one. But you got to throw it in between 3 and 4 people every time. I mean, come on, Big Josh. And then, at the last minute you want to run. I'm sure you have to take an ice bath after every game because although you may be big, but they're unloading on you.
Of course they are.
I know your coach is telling you, get down, Josh. You're not gonna
And
make it the whole season. You keep doing that, going head first on some of these runs.
yeah, and I gotta give a shout out though, because I'm loving how I'm seeing more teams going for the 2-point conversions.
Well,
I feel like that used to be a rare occasion because people kind of shied away from it. It was like, nah, let me just get the 1 point guarantee. But the fact that the Bills and the Bengals successfully had one is just they were in the opposite quarters, one in the first quarter and the Bills in the fourth quarter. I'm like, that's something to look into as well.
Well, the game is on the line.
That part. So you better fight for it.
Yeah, and it's shout out to more strategy from coaches to realize if I'm down 4 points, I'm gonna need a touchdown anyway, so I might as well go for two. So all I need is a field goal if need be.
You can't play everything safe.
No, you can't play it safe. The chances on you scoring a touchdown are slim and none.
But I feel like it wasn't even the battle of the offenses so much as it was the battle of the defense, because I feel like the Bills defense really didn't know how to stop the Bengals because the Bengals had a nice balance of the running game and passing the ball.
Balance attack. You don't know where they're coming from. Then you got an all-pro quarterback, you know what I mean, who has, a smooth play action, and then he's got receivers who are trying to get open every time. And I want to tell you something that Cincinnati has is a great offensive line, that can pass, block, and run the ball. Yes, they opened up holes. I mean, it seems like every time Mixon is getting the ball, he's 5, 6, 7 yards downfield. And I want to go back to something real quick. The Philadelphia Eagles got that tush push thing down pack. I just see how they just roll over people. If they need 1 yard, I believe eventually they're gonna rule that out. It used to be a rule in NFL that you couldn't push people ahead like that, And I just believe like right now it's excitement, but I think eventually teams are gonna say, there's no way to stop it. It's unfair,
Right.
Other teams have tried and been unsuccessful, but that tush push in Philadelphia is unbelievable.
I agree.
Yeah, I even seen the Buffalo Bills try to no success. Yeah, they tried it, but
that was a great way to end Sunday Night Football. So the last game of Week 9, the Jets versus the Chargers. Prediction time. Prediction time.
Jets
Who you got winning?
Well, I'm going for the Jets. I got the Jets 24-23 in a closeout thriller. I believe the Jets are going to come back in the fourth quarter. I look for the Jets. I look for the Jets to fight hard and pull the victory out.
Why you tapping like this? You know the Jets ain't consistent like that. They play sloppy. They ain't got their savior. He on the sidelines trying to coach.
At home, and they do another big victory. Come on, Jets. You got to pull this one out.
See that. I'm going to say the Chargers are going to take it, and I think it's going to be 17-10.
17-10 Chargers. Okay. I like the quarterback. I like the pass rush they have there. Woo. Got a strong running back. I mean, I understand it, but the defense, the Williams brothers, Quentin and Quillen on the other end, linebacker, D tackle. I mean, then you got the other strong safety, number 7. I can't think of his name. You got some good hitters over there on this side. They got great corners. I don't know. It's going to be a good game. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. I think although he's not with us anymore, I think Kellen Moore is just going to come out on top in terms of those plays that are crucial for them to win.
Yeah, well, Kellen Moore,
he's not horrible. He's great. Yeah, he's a great offensive coordinator, but
he seems to be a little bit more comfortable over there with the Chargers. So
agree. A little more freedom.
A little bit more freedom. So we'll see. I mean, hey, and that's what it really comes down to. How comfortable do you feel in any organization or any offensive or defensive set? Do you have a chance to flex? We players need that. That's what the young quarterback Justin Fields was talking about in Chicago when he was asked, "What seemed to be wrong? Why do you think you're having these problems?" He said it was too much coaching.
Hmm.
Basically, get out of my head, then let me play.
You don't give them no wiggle room to improvise. Like sometimes the play you want to give may not work because they see something else coming.
Yeah,
Or
shouting
give
off
them
on
the
the side.
room to use their expertise. I mean, the quarterback is supposed to be the leader. So my thing is let him lead. Let him be resourceful for himself. You essentially are teaching him to be self-sufficient, but also lead a team. So put his skills to the test.
Yeah.
That's gonna tell you everything.
Well, Monday Night Football. We're looking forward to the great game. Let's go Jets.
And that is a wrap for our Sunday Night Football coverage. Stay tuned. Make sure
Recap.
y'all like, share, subscribe our videos on YouTube.
Hit that button. Hit that like button.
Recap Sports Focus. What's good? If y'all like what y'all saw today, be sure to hit that subscribe button.